Football's all over, folks. Money, of course, trumps football. That's right, as Bournemouth, with the parachute payments, make a return to the Premier League. But what's going to happen on the final day? Well, we still got the small matter of the playoffs to be decided. We've got all that coming at you next. That's right, folks, back to give another prediction video today. We're coming at you for the last day of the season, match number 46 over the Championship, and we'll get to that in just one second. If you're new, where you've been, smash your subscribe to keep banging today. All things Rovers related, Championship related, world football related. We know it, boys. Under one roof. That's right, of course, Rovers will be back in the Championship next season, and of course, we'll have a new manager at the helm for the first time in 5 bloody years. Who's it going to be? Of course, that's yet to be decided. But of course, what's going to happen this coming weekend? Can Rovers end strongly? Can your team end strongly, of course? And who will actually make the top 6? We'll take a look at that and more in a second. Of course, people shout about VRPs, the other Patreons, guys. You know who you are. But anyway, let's get into it. Of course, revisit the results, of course, from the last weekend, and of course yesterday, which was, of course, Bournemouth up against Forest, of course, which was the builders. The most expensive game in football part 1. Of course, the most expensive game in football part 2 will be later in the playoffs. But of course, let's get into it then. Here are those results. Kicking it all off with, of course, a zinger at the top there. Rovers got spanked. I predicted 3 goals in it, but I went with a 2-1 win for Rovers. It was a 3-0 win the other way. Blackpool, of course, got spanked as well. But Derby, of course, we're playing League One football next season. Bristol City ended their home campaign with a 5-0 win over Hull City. Cardiff, 1-1 draw against Birmingham. Coventry did lose at home to Huddersfield. And Barnsley also lost without a manager now. They're looking at Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank. That's the rumour. 3-1 it was to Preston. Fulham with another 7-0 drop in there of Luton Town this time. Of course, Luton Town could be playoff bound. Still got a bit of work to do to get over the line there. But, of course, that is not going to do their goal difference any good, is it? Been there, done that, seen it. Got the T-shirt as well. Meanwhile, Middlesbrough 3-1 win over Stoke. They're still in the mixer, as are Millwall with a 3-0 win over Peterborough. That's how you do it, Rovers. You beat bloody Peterborough. If you beat Peterborough, you'll probably still be in the conversation now. Reading, of course, 1-0 loss at home to against West Brom. Forest 5-1 demolition of Swansea, and QPR fluffed their lines as well with a 2-1 loss to Sheffield United. And the game of the week, all eyes on this one, was Bournemouth against Forest. It was a bit of a damp squib. It wasn't really that boring. It wasn't really exciting. The drama, people are saying, if you're not watching the Villarreal game, the Villarreal Liverpool, or you're not watching this game and you're watching the Champions League game, you don't know what you're talking about. But guess what? We got it all wrong. We got it all wrong. Of course, the Bournemouth Forest game was a bit boring, to be honest with you. And, of course, all the thriller. It was the thriller down in Spain, of course, as Villarreal made Liverpool work for it. Anyway, that's a story for another day. This is the table right here, right now. 90 points, of course, Fulham are Champions. They're, of course, 5 points clear at the moment of Bournemouth, as well as they all come into match number 46 right here, right now. Forest, of course, still can make the Premier League, but they're going to have to do it the hard way. They might even take the foot off the gas this weekend. But, of course, if they finish in third, they'll, of course, likely take on the 6th place team. And at the moment, it is Luton Town. And guess what? Luton Town did them one over not too long ago as well. They have to play them twice as well. So what's going to happen in that one? Sheffield United currently find themselves in 5th alongside Huddersfield, who are in 4th. However, do not write out Middlesbrough. Do not write out Millwall as well, but you can write out Rovers. We are out. Of course, hopefully we can finish as high as 8th this coming weekend if we can win, and maybe Millwall lose. No disrespect to Millwall. I just want to finish higher up the table and let Tony go out with a bang. Of course, take a look at how you guys got on now. I want to say, you know, there are cheaters out there. There are cheaters out there, and if I was not asked with it, if of course the cheating affected the table, then I will probably hammer down on you. But there are cheaters out there. I know you're out there. I do know you're out there. I've been a little bit lax this season because it's hard work, these prediction leagues, and that's why, of course, I'm going to be revisiting and taking a long hard look at the next season, because there's hard work doing these prediction leagues. So I don't appreciate the cheating, and if there was if the cheating had a major effect on the table, then guess what? You'll be named and shamed. But I'm going to give you the chance right here, right now, those cheaters out there, to stop cheating, because I can embarrass you, I can name and shame you, and it's not right. It is not right to cheat. And when I say cheat, of course, and I can stop the cheating, because it's so manic, I forget to flick the switch and turn off predictions once the games have started. So some people like to think, oh, I'll take all those results from Saturday and I'll just stick a couple in for the rest. I know who you are. I know who you are. So don't, and if you want to hold your hand up and let me know, privately, you could say, oh, I apologise, but I do know who you are. So be careful out there. Anyway, so that was the rankings there. What about the mini leaderboard from January onwards? Shane Donald kicking ass with 130 for the time being. That's from January onwards, so well done to him. But what about, of course, the predictor of the month? Of course, that's right. Wow, wowdy. Now, the predictor of the month is the person or the persons that accumulate the most points over the month of April. That's right. So who is that person? Of course, you can win multiple months. Of course, if you are making the wall of shame by winning a month, guess what? You can be in the mixer as well. So here is the predictor of the month for the month of April. It's Damien Evan, of course. Well done to you, sir. Kicking ass and taking names as well. So there you go. That's the list of names who will be in the mixer so far. We have 1 month left, which includes this weekend's action and the playoffs. So basically, we're looking at 12, 14, 16, 17 points left, of course. And if you win also get all 17, guess what? You'll probably be in the mixer for the month of May. So let's get into it. Who is actually winning, though, the overall grand scheme? I think this is the long old list of the names who have taken part this season, and it's Shane on right now, 247, with a good distance right now, 8 points clear of the nearest and dearest, 77, of course, and Hansworth, who's in third. Still catchable as well. Basically, remember, 12 points today, and of course, 17 total, I think. I just said that. So if you're in at 230 and up, you're in the mixer. Otherwise, it's game over for you. But you can keep on going. And of course, you can win the predictor of the month for the month of May and get your name in lights as well. So get in amongst it. Of course, I'm hoping to be back for the championship at the very least next season for predictions. But I've got to look at what my scenario is, because I am a busy boy and things could be changing a lot behind the scenes here, so we'll see how it all pans out. But anyway, this of course is the link. These are the games, so let's get the deep in. Of course, right now, Bournemouth do have a say in the end of the season matters, despite securing promotion yesterday against Forest. They'll take on Millwall, who have a bit of an interest in the playoff spots as well. Win for Millwall, guess what? They could be right in the thick of things. They'll take on Bournemouth, though, who they've played each other 15 times, 2006, 5 wins for Bournemouth, 7 wins for Millwall, and 3 draws, of course. Bournemouth, though, coming to unbeaten in the last 6 games, picking up 3 wins and 3 draws. That's 75% form for them. Up against the Millwall side, of course, just 1 defeat past 6, 67% form for Gary Rowett's boys. He's a bit of a, I don't know about their style of football, but they're getting results, and they have been consistently top half of the table, and I do anticipate them to be there or thereabouts next season if they don't get it this time around. Of course, coming at you last time around over in Bournemouth, it was a 1-1 draw back in January 2021. That won't be enough. That won't be enough for Millwall. However, the reverse fixture, of course, also a 1-1 draw back in November 2021. Millwall's last victory over Bournemouth was back in 2017 in the FA Cup. It was a 3-0 win. That was at Millwall. Have they ever beaten them at Bournemouth? I'm looking. I cannot see it. I cannot see them the last time they beat Bournemouth on the road. Meanwhile, of course, Bournemouth did come into this on the back of that 1-0 win over Forest, back to clean sheets for them. Up against the Mill side, will come into this on the back of that 3-0 win over Peterborough. It's all or nothing for Millwall. Of course, the odds here coming at you: 11-10 on is your Bournemouth. Of course, 23-10 is your draw. 14-5 is your away win. That is Millwall on this one. Unfortunately, I can't see it myself. 2-0 win for Bournemouth for me. They'll be in party mode. Of course, they've got a whole 40-50 man squad to choose from coming at you for Saturday. So, of course, that's the parachute payments. Next, of course, we have the game of the day. We'll be watching this one. We'll do, of course, an end in season climax, of course. Can't give you a banger today with all the games going around the ground in the watch along. But, of course, my focus will be on this game, even though it is an absolutely worthless dead rubber. Played each other 38 times this year. 2011 wins for Birmingham, 50 wins for Rovers, and 12 draws. Of course, just 1 win and 6 for Birmingham right now, 33% form. Up against the Rovers side, just 1 win and 6, 33% form. That, of course, for me, and I know it is sad, and of course, the looking at the odds, it is quite grim that we might end up with a real dog shit manager, but that's the tail of the tape. If we're going to go anywhere, and I know Mowbray's done something, but I'm still thinking we've got to make some progress. And yeah, you can say that if the results were scattered around evenly and the long runs of winless and pointless and going backwards wasn't happening, then maybe we would accept the season. But realistically, you as a manager, you shouldn't be allowing those long runs. You know, if you're going 5, 6, 7 games without a win, 10 games without a win, one in 15. There's something wrong there, and that's of course a manager's job. So for me, I take what people say with that, but as a manager, as a coach, as a thing, you've got to snap those sequences, and they're far too common for Rovers at the moment. Anyway, of course, coming into this, the last round over at Birmingham was a 2-0 win for Rovers back in January 2021. Of course, we actually played Birmingham on the final game of the season last season at Ewood Park. It was a 5-2 Bobby Dazzler, and of course we played each other earlier in the campaign back in December. This campaign 4-0 it was for Rovers. Rovers winning 3 in the bouts against Birmingham. Of course, Birmingham is on the back of that 1-1 draw against Cardiff. Rovers, of course, a 3-0 loss against Bournemouth. Of course, the odds coming at you for this one then. 9-5 is your Birmingham, 29-20 is your Rovers, and 23-10 is your draw. Rovers, of course, have been a bit shit of late, as have Birmingham. Going to go with a 3-1 win for Rovers, though. End the season in style. Mowbray bowing out with a W. Next, also, we have Derby up against Cardiff City. That's right, coming at you at Pride Park. Now, these two sides have played each other 3 times in 2003. 8 wins to Derby, 13 wins to Cardiff, and 10 draws, of course. Derby, they're winning 3 and losing 3 over the last 6, 50% form up against the Cardiff side. Winless in 5, 25% form for them. Of course, Steve Morrison, the man to drive Cardiff forward next season. I don't know, to be honest with you. Last time around over at Pride Park, it was a 1-1 draw back in October 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, a 1-1 win for Cardiff back in Wales in March 2022. The away side hasn't won this game since Cardiff beat Derby in Derby back in February 2017. Cardiff coming to this on the back of that draw against Birmingham. Meanwhile, Derby coming to this on the back of that 2-0 win over Blackpool. The odds coming at you for this one: 6-5 is Derby, 1-5 is draw, and 11-5 is your Cardiff City. Back in, of course, Derby here to end the season 2-1 win, of course, with Rooney at the helm next season. I do anticipate Derby to bounce back at the first attempt as well. Huddersfield up against Bristol City. Let's get into this one now. Of course, Huddersfield are in the playoffs. They are playoffs bound, of course, taking on Bristol City. They played each other 22 times in 1988. 8 was Huddersfield, 10 was Bristol City, and 4 draws, of course. Huddersfield coming to this, though, unbeaten in at least the last 6 games, picking up 5 wins and a draw, 92% form for them. Up against the Bristol City side, unbeaten in the last 5, picking up 3 wins and 2 draws. The end of the season, very, very good form for Nigel Pearson's lads. Last time around, of course, over at Huddersfield, it was a 2-1 win for Bristol City back in November 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, a 3-2 win for Huddersfield at Thrashton Gate. Meanwhile, Bristol City picking up a 5-0 win over Hull. They've scored 8 goals in the last 2 games. Meanwhile, Huddersfield coming to this on the back of successive 2-1 wins, beating Barnsley and, of course, Coventry in quick succession. 11-10 on is your Huddersfield. They are favoured for this one. 5-2 is draw, and 3-1 is your long shots. Of course, a win for Huddersfield will, of course, make sure they finish further up the table, which might be a benefit or might be a hindrance. We'll see about that. And we're going to go with a 2-0 win for Huddersfield for them to end the season strongly. Bristol City taking the L on this one. Hull City, of course, shot out of lads, these boys up against Forest, of course. Again, they're in the playoffs. They'll be there. Of course, they'll try to bounce back and quick to do just that. 17 times they play each other, these two sides. Since 2010, 9 wins for Hull, 6 wins for Forest, and 2 draws, of course. Hull City, they're winning 3 and losing 3 over the last 6, 50% form up against a Nottingham Forest side. Just 1 defeat past 5 for them. 67% form heading into this match. Last time around, of course, over at the KCOM was a 2-0 win for Forest back in December 2019. The reverse fixture, of course, also a 2-1 win for Forest back in December 2021. Of course, Forest picking up back-to-back wins. Forest also coming to on the back of that 1-0 loss against Bournemouth. Hull also with a 5-0 drubbing against Bristol City. In fact, back-to-back away defeats for Hull at the very least. Meanwhile, kicking on forward over the odds for this one, even though they're playing at home. 50-4 is your Hull, 5-2 is your, and 4-3 on is your Forest. They are favoured to win this game. I do anticipate another response for them, 3-0. Again, to remain top third or third in the table, and of course keep the dream alive. Of course, moving to playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, Luton Town up against Reading, win and you're in. That's all they've got to think about. Up against, of course, a Paul Ince Reading side. Played each other 15 times since 1994. 4 wins to Luton, 9 wins to Reading, and 2 draws, of course. Luton, though, coming to this on the back of a 50% form, 1-2 lost to and drawn 2 over the last 6. Up against the Reading side, of course, just 1 win and 5 for them, 42% form heading into this match as well. Last round over at Kenilworth Road was a 0-0 draw. I don't think, is that good enough? I don't think so. I think the goal deficit will, of course, hurt them if everything else goes against them. So 0-0 last round. Of course, earlier in the campaign at the Matchday was a 2-0 win for Luton as well. Luton, of course, 3 clean sheets against Reading in succession. Of course, they're coming to this on the back of that 7-0 drubbing, though, against Fulham. Can they respond and can they bounce back? Of course, they're also Reading. Remember, they also took a 7-0 drubbing against Fulham as well. Also, Blackburn Rovers. Meanwhile, of course, West Brom coming to this, Reading coming to this on the back of that defeat against West Brom. Back-to-back games now without a goal. Meanwhile, the odds for this one, 50-8 on is your Luton. Of course, 14-5 is your 11-2 is your away win. Of course, Reading, of course, massive turnaround of staff players next season. Going to go with a draw. I don't know if it's good enough. 1-1 in the end. Maybe the occasion might get to them, but it might be enough. We'll see about that. Next, of course, we have Peterborough up against Blackpool down at over in Peterborough. Of course, now these two sides. I played 22 times since 2002. 7 wins to Peterborough, 12 wins to Blackpool, and 3 draws, of course. Peterborough coming to this back-to-back defeats for them. 50% form over the last 6 up against the Blackpool side. Of course, 50% form for them. 1-2 lost to and drawn 2, of course, over the last 6 games. Of course, both of these two sides last season was in League One. Of course, Blackpool are sticking around for another season. Peterborough going down. That's right. Coming at you, though, last round over at Peterborough was a 2-1 win for Blackpool back in November 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, a 3-1 win for Blackpool over at Bloomfield Road. Peterborough coming to this on the back of that 3-0 loss to Millwall. Back-to-back games without a goal for them. Up against the Blackpool side, who've lost 2-0 to Derby last round on at home as well. Coming at you, though, 9-4 is your Peterborough, 12-5 is your, and 23-20 is your Blackpool on this one. Back in, of course, a home win here. Going out on start for Peterborough, and Blackpool taking the L on this one. Preston up against Middlesbrough, of course, all eyes on this one. Probably the game of the day as well, you would think, because it has some major implications for Middlesbrough. Now, these two sides have played each other 19 times, 2006, 3 wins for Preston, 10 wins for Middlesbrough, and 6 draws, of course. Preston coming to 58% form for them, just 1 win and 4 for them. Up against the Middlesbrough side, 1-2 lost to and drawn 2 over the last 6, of course. course, heading into this match. Last time around, of course, over at Preston, over at Deepdale was a 3-0 win for Preston back in December 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, over at the Riverside back in November was a 2-1 win for Preston way back when. Borough coming to on the back of the 3-1 win over Stoke. Of course, the last time that they were on the road, they picked up a draw against Swansea. That won't be good enough. Meanwhile, Preston pick up a 3-1 win over Barnsley. And of course, that's the last home match was, of course, a bit of a drubbing by, of course, the blue and white from Blackburn Rovers. Coming at you, the odds here, 10-3 is your Preston, 13-5 is short, 11-8 is your Middlesbrough. They are favourite to win this game. I don't see it myself. I'm going with a draw myself, which will end their campaign and probably put Luton Town in the hot seat for the top 6. Kicking off all the Sheffield United up against Fulham. Of course, this could have had a major effect on everything, and of course, it still may do. Of course, played to the 14 times in 1999, 4 wins for Sheffield United, 6 wins for Fulham, and 4 draws. Of course, just 1 defeat though the past 6 games for Sheffield United. Against the Fulham side, of course, just 1 defeat past 4 for them, 42% form heading into this match. Last time around, over at Brom was a 1-1 draw way back in, of course, October 2020. The reverse fixture, of course, at Craven Cottage was a 1-win for Sheffield United back in December 2021. Fulham coming to this on the back of that 7-0 loss to Luton Town, 7-0 win over Luton Town. Of course, Sheffield United with a 3-1 win over QPR. Back-to-back wins for them, of course, as they tried to make top 6 a secure deal there. Of course, Sheffield United coming to this 21-20 for the victory. 5-2 is your Fulham. Sheffield United are favourites for this one. 12-5 is your draw. I'm actually going to back a win for Fulham here on the road. Of course, Mitrovic won and breaks some records, still continuing to score goals, and they want to go out in a blaze of glory. That also might have ramifications of course, who will remain in the top 6. Kicking off, although it's Stoke up against Coventry. Of course, let's get into this one at the bet 3-6-5 as well. Coming at you same day, same kickoff, of course, as the two signs lock horns here. Coming at you though, of course, plays the 16 times to 2002, 6 wins to Stoke, 7 wins to Coventry, and 3 draws, of course. Stoke though winning 3, losing 3 over the last 6, 50% form up against the Coventry side who winless in the last 3 games, 42% form for them heading into this match. Last time around, of course, over the bet 3-6-5 was a 3-2 win for Coventry back in April 2021. The reverse fixture, of course, a 1-0 win for Coventry over Stoke. So Coventry unbeaten against Stoke over the last 4 occasions, pick up 3 wins and a draw. They also come to this on the back of a defeat though, a 2-1 loss at home to Huddersfield. And of course, Stoke with a 3-1 loss to Middlesbrough as well. The odds though coming at you for this one then. What do we got? We've got basic odds, and the basic odds go in favour of Stoke. Our favourite. No, they're not actually. Coventry are favourites for this one. No, it's very, very tight. It's going. It's moving as we speak. But I think Stoke are favourites for this one, but only just. I'm going to give it to them as well. 2-0 win for them to end the season strongly, and of course, maybe keep Michael O'Neill at the helm for another year. Meanwhile, Swansea City up against QPR. Of course, means nothing this game. Of course, final game for Warburton. Of course, next season, keep your eyes on Swansea. Played to the 21 times 2004, 7 wins apiece and 7 draws. Swansea though drawing 4 the last 5. Of course, just 1 win in the last 6, 50% form for them. Up against QPR side, just 1 win in 6 of them, 25% form heading into this match as well. Last round over in Wales, it was a 1-0 win for QPR back in April 2021. The reverse fixture, of course, a 0-0 draw in Loftus Road back in January 2022. QPR pick up a 3-1 loss against Sheffield United. Of course, Swansea with a 5-1 loss to Forest. The odds here, 11-10 is your Swansea, 23-10 is your QPR, and 5-2 is your draw here. I'm back in a 3-0 win for Swansea to end in a banger, and as well, and of course, Warburton will go out with his tail between his legs. And then wrap it up, it is, of course, the Alex Mowat derby. It is, of course, West Brom up against the relegated Barnsley, of course. Played to 27 times in 1993, 8 wins apiece and 11 draws. Of course, West Brom coming to this just 1 defeat past 4, 58% form over the last 6. Up against the Barnsley side who haven't won in the last 8% form as well heading into this match. Last time around, of course, over at the Hawthorns was a 2-2 draw back in October 2019. The reverse fixture, of course, at Oakwell was a 0-0 draw back in December 2021. Barnsley picked up a 3-1 loss against Preston last time around. And of course, West Brom with 2 clean sheets on the bounce and a 1-0 win against Reading last time around. 9-4 on is your West Brom, 65 is draw, 13-2 is, of course, your away win. That's Barnsley. I'm back at, of course, West Brom with the win here. Steve Bruce next season. Can he do it? We'll have to wait and see. But that is it. That is it. Get your picks in, of course, for the final league match. Of course, we'll be back for the players. And also, make sure you smash your subscribe as well and thumbs up, please. It does wonders for the algorithm and all that kind of stuff. But until then, boys, we're going to be done right now. See you later, alligator. But until then, boys, we're done.